Good day, everybody, and welcome to today's episode on my YouTube video series. And today we're going to talk about a topic which is a bit informational, which is did you know that the Woodlands Causeway is 100 years old today on the 28th of June 2024? Yeah, 100 years. Yeah, so the Woodlands Causeway is actually older than most people alive, and today is celebrated the 100th anniversary of its start of operations, right? So you might have seen in the news today that actually both sides, the Singapore and Malaysia governments, actually had a short ceremony this morning to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the Woodlands Causeway. So the Woodlands Causeway was actually opened on June 28th, 1924, right? And basically it's a bridge to link Johor Bahru and Singapore, right? And at the time, Johor Bahru had only about 50,000 people. Singapore had about over half a million based on a 1931 census, right? So at the point in time, the populations of those Johor and actually Johor Bahru and Singapore is actually very, very small. You compare to today, Singapore has 5.5 million people. Greater Johor Bahru is roughly 2 million people today. So the populations have grown by quite a fair bit. But you look at the Woodlands Causeway, actually it didn't really change much, right? If you look at the photos from those days, of course at the time when it was built, it only had one single lane, right? And thereafter it got expanded to as many as 6 lanes, which is what you see today, right? Which was done sometime in the 70s. And actually, the Woodlands Causeway has been generally operational throughout these 100 years. I think there were only two major times where it didn't really operate, which was during World War II, right? The Japanese actually bombed the causeway during World War II, and also during the COVID-19 pandemic, where it was sort of closed. But actually, even during COVID-19, it wasn't really closed all the time. The lorries that deliver food to Singapore, right, were actually still operating. So you might ask yourself the question, why has this causeway still been here 100 years old? Is it still viable to leave it there? Should it be torn down? Actually, the Malaysian government has requested a few times in the past to rebuild the bridge, right? That's where you hear the term crooked bridge, right? You might have heard this before. One reason why Malaysia wanted to rebuild the bridge was because right now the causeway, if you notice, right, water cannot flow through, right? It's effectively like a wall, it's like a dam. So the water is stuck there, cannot go through. And ships and boats cannot cross under the waterway in the causeway, right? So the waterway is effectively blocking the water. So Malaysia, one reason wanted to do that was to let the water flow through, because there's some issues with the water flow that are there. But actually, Singapore government, I think my opinion why Singapore government don't want to do is because the water pipes, right, that carry the water from Johor to Singapore, I can show you the photo here, actually travel through the same causeway as well. So I think from Singapore government's perspective, they don't want to touch that piece of infrastructure unless it's absolutely necessary. So we have been having this same capacity bridge, right, for 100 years, and there have not really been any major increase in capacity other than the Tuas second link, right, which was opened in 1998. Now, if you notice, after the Tuas second link was opened, right, then you see west part of Johor start to develop, right, because if you go back to 1998, right, actually the time JB, if you want to go west, there's nothing there one. It's all plantation and jungle. Okay, I think the furthest west you could go was maybe Taman Perling, right? Beyond that is all jungle. There was no Bukit Indah, there was no Medini, there was no Iskandar Putri, no Putri Harbour back in those days, right? And it only got developed after the second link was built. So now you fast forward to today, we expect the next big capacity to allow more cross-border travel between Johor and Singapore to be from the rapid transit system, the RTS, right, which is going to complete 2 years from now in 2026. So this will effectively be the third major channel to move people across the border, which is a MRT, right? So we're no longer doing this bridge vehicle bridge thing. So the RTS will happen in 2026, right? Construction going on right now, and I think this will, considering what has happened to the past in Tuas Seconding and also the Woodlands Causeway, we expect this to further push demand for real estate and the popularity of Johor Bahru itself, Johor Bahru city centre itself, because now it's a lot easier to travel with an MRT system, right? The border crossing in Johor Bahru and Singapore is one of the busiest in the world, right? So yeah, so the RTS is definitely needed. Okay, so happy 100th anniversary to the Woodlands Causeway. This will be a short video, and we hope everyone here, the Causeway, here to be here for a long time to come. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. If you enjoyed this video or found it entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we try to create as much content that might be interesting for you, right? Recently been quite busy, so I'll try to make more videos as soon as I can. Thank you very much, and bye bye.